Well, howdy guys, what's up? It's Apollo here. Welcome back to another glorious siege battle in Total War Rome 2. We've got a siege defense here where the defenders are extremely aggressive. At least that's what the person who sent in the replay said. So we'll see what that's going to be all about. Let's go ahead and check out the factions here that are on the battlefield. So attacking, we have the Carthaginians, we have Kush, and then we have Arverni. And then defending, we have the Seleucids, Boii, and Egypt. So these are no pushover factions. These are all very good factions. And sure enough, speak of the devil, there is that aggressive play that I was talking about. We've got 3 units of heavy horse and the general noble horse moving out, ready to do some destruction here. We also have a wave of sword followers, about 4 sword followers moving out with the cav. This is actually pretty good. Now, 99% of the time, I'll say, hey, sally outs like this don't really lead to anything good. But the fact that Arverni has sectioned up his army, he could easily take out this force here without losing that many casualties, mostly because of the cav. There is no cav here. So that's going to be some issues because Arverni is not going to be able to defend their flank that well. He's certainly going to try, but these sword followers are no joke either. So this is going to be really tough for him. You can see he's using some chosen swordsmen, or I'm sorry, chosen spearmen to defend the flanks. And he's probably going to use this unit to try to zone out the cav, but there's just too much. There's too many cav units. He's not going to be able to zone out so many cav forces. He'll just kind of use one as a diversion, and the other ones will kind of sneak in and get some rear charges. We do have some archers over here, some slingers, Celtic slingers, trying to soften them up. So this is crazy, guys. This is nuts. All right, and here we go. The sword followers going in. This is a great play by the defenders. Like I said, seeing this small force by themselves, you always got to make sure you have some kind of cav or some kind of presence on the battlefield where you can quickly maneuver units to different areas and protect, you know, the flanks and whatnot. And here we go. This is where it's going to sting. We got the rear charge by the noble horse. Going to flank around these chosen swordsmen. A very good unit. Here comes another charge, and they charged the rear of these chosen spearmen as they were kind of going after another cav unit. They're going to disengage. That was a great play by Boii, and sure enough, they crush the slingers here that were in the back lines. Now, basically, the back lines are fair game. You can see the cav is just pouring in, and now we've got more cav pouring in here, and that's going to pretty much clean up this section of the army. I was gonna ask, like, is there any reinforcements going around to help them out? Any cav? It doesn't look like Arverni brought any cav, so they don't really have an answer for this, and they're just kind of watching the other section of their army die, which is a tragic loss. And this is a huge win for the defenders with these sword followers. Let's see. Look at the kills: 27, 27, 49. 78. Pretty solid kills there. It's really the cav who saved the day. I mean the kills are nothing too crazy, but like they aren't taking on a huge force. And here we go. Here comes some spearmen, just kind of throwing them in, trying to get as many kills as possible in this battle. But it's a desperate. They're dying in vain essentially. That's gonna pretty much clean him up, and we'll see what Boii does here. Is he going to fall back into his city? We'll find out soon enough. Now, as we are witnessing that, we do have a push over. This is a great push by the attackers. You know, they're not letting that whole situation over on the other side slow them down. They're going to keep pushing forward. And you can see the defenders are taking a bend but don't break strategy, where they've kind of given up the outer walls and are kind of holding the inner choke points of the walls, essentially. So we'll see how this plays out. But I definitely think the attackers can kind of take advantage of this. He's got a lot of Kushite slave infantry. So we'll see. Like, I always see Kush players bring a lot of slave infantry. I'm not a fan. I don't like to bring a lot. I know they're pretty good for their cost, but I honestly, I never play as Kush because everyone always plays as Kush. I hate it. I mean, I like Kush, but it's just like all the time, you know, it's just Kush, 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 Kush. But yeah, anyways, let's go back over here and see what's happening. It looks like Boei is not giving up here. They're still fighting these chosen spearmen. They are not going to go back inside their city, which honestly, personally, I think I would take these guys, maybe not the cav, but definitely the infantry, get them back inside the city. This is a great win for the defenders, but you don't want to push your limit, and you don't want to lose these guys, you know, without putting up, you know, without getting a ton of kills. Like, these sword followers still have a ton of potential. They barely took any casualties. Like, a lot of them are still over, they're more than 50 most. Yeah, they're all more than 50. They can still get a ton of kills in choke point situations. But no, he's going to send in the infantry as well. Surprising. Look at Arverni's like been declawed here. Like, he's got his force hanging back. He's not really doing anything. He's struggling. He is moving up some siege towers, but this is definitely a tough situation for Arverni, and he's really gonna have to lean on his allies to try to, you know, get some ground here. And I mean, if his allies can actually push through here and get it to the point where Arverni doesn't have to fight anymore, like, to take the walls, like if he can just get an easy path onto the walls because his allies clear the path, then Arverni can definitely come back into this and get some great kills and try to turn this around. But this defense has been pretty solid over here. Now we got some hoplites moving in. This is the, oh, I'm sorry, these are Royal Peltis. But yeah, I mean, when you send in, okay, these are Shotel warriors now, so, but they're taking on Boei, and I almost feel like Boei purposely sent over some infantry because they're a little lower on armor, so they're a little bit more effective against the Shotel warriors. I wonder if he sent these two units over to the side to help deal with Kush, but this is a nice little column flank he's doing. Very good job. The hillmen are going to try to counter it, but the hillmen are not going to last long as more infantry is pouring through the towers. And there we go, Boei is starting to break. So there we go, Kush is starting to get some ground here. And we've got a defensive position up here from the Seleucids. Shotel warriors, Royal Peltis, duking it out. This is actually a pretty good matchup for the Shotel warriors. So, yeah, this is a good trade. And then the Shotel warriors are also taking on Thorax swordsmen. Again, really good matchup for Shotel warriors. The only thing is that they are getting hit pretty hard with skirmish fire. That archer fire coming down hard, coming down swiftly. All right, now Carthage is really focusing on the center here with a lot of troops, a little thorax on thorax action. Now let's go back over here. Let's see what's happening here. Oh my God, another sally out by Boei. Spear warriors going in. They're trying to stop the siege tower, which they do, which has really put Arverni in an awkward situation right now. A tragic situation. All right, and now Arverni is riding out. He's pushing up troops. He's got some Oathsworn, which will easily defeat the sword followers. So let's see what he does here. It looks like he had this sword follower way on the flank to flank around. But here's the thing. These guys are surrounded. This is a general over here. And they go into shield wall. If they can hold for a while and get some cav over here to help them out, I think they might be able to defeat the Oathsworn. But they've got to hold on, and they need support. And look at this. Now that the spears have kind of sallied out, they're surrounding the chosen swordsman here. We do have a counter charge by naked warriors. Gross. Put some clothes on. So they're flanking around. The spears still trying to deal with them. Egypt is helping defend this wall, so he's got a unit of thorax swordsmen kind of holding off Arverni here, which Arverni only able to get one siege tower up here, which is tragic, and they're getting blasted by arrows and held back by the thorax swordsmen of Egypt. Ooh. Bowie Eye is breaking here. So this is what I'm talking about. I don't know if it was worth it having these troops run out here like this. Yes, they did a good job at the beginning of the battle, you know. They did a good job of clearing that small Arverni force. But once you do that, fall back and use these troops as reinforcements or choke point holders or anything like that. Out in the open, you are going to lose. Where's the cav? Oh, look at this. Interesting. So the cav went after the Carthaginian crew. So I don't know if this still had ammo or not. But they definitely could flank around and do some damage here. I'm kind of surprised the Bowie Eye cav isn't kind of just harassing all of Arverni. Like, if their cav was nearby, that's the other thing. If their cav was nearby, they could have gotten hammer and anvil and potentially saved his infantry here against, you know, Arverni infantry. But, you know, because Arverni doesn't have any cav. The only thing Arverni has that could potentially zone out cav is the archers. But again, the archers are a soft target as well. They could easily run them down as well. So I think Bowie Eye would have been better off having their cav nearby support the infantry. But we'll see what they do here with this cav. We'll see what he can get done. We've got another Carthaginian ballistic crew. I guess they came back. The Bowie Eye heavy horse is going after it. Let's go back over to this main fight here, where the Carthaginians are having a brutal fight right now. I mean, it's tough taking on the Seleucids. Carthage is a very good faction. Seleucids are also a very good faction. So it's been a tough fight. Then we got a little bit of a fight here. Some Libyan infantry against the Royal Peltas. And the Royal Peltas are losing decisively. I think it's because they've lost some numbers. They're tired. They're actually going to swap them out with another unit of Royal Peltas. I guess they're just kind of putting in fresher troops, I suppose. Kush has, well, Kush still has some good reserves here. He's got some armored Shotel warriors. He's got about 3 of them over here. He's also got, let's see, what is this? Some Kushite archers. And this is what's left of his infantry here. More armored Shotel warriors pushing in, trying to take control of this outer area. And it looks like they are going to get this outer area. They have taken control of it. They're going to link up with Carthage and begin their next push over to the next stage of the defense. Meanwhile, Arverni is now has clear passage into attacking these walls. So they're going to go ahead and push and try to defeat this one Egyptian thorax sword unit that's been holding them off, thanks to the help of the siege tower, or the arrow tower, I should say. A great fight indeed. Oh, here we go. The cav has been activated. Bowie Eye sending in that heavy horse. Let's see if they can get some damage done here. See, he's already got some heavy horse riding in here. He's going for the general. He's also taking out some archers. Oh yeah, lots of micro happening. Oh yeah, lots of cav over here. Kush has sent in their general as well, the Royal Guard. This could be some epic general head hunting right now. Let's see if they can kill the general or even completely break the general unit. Would be impressive. We got some Sacred Band trying to protect what's going on here, but this cav is just running amok. Now, ooh, the Royal Guard break the heavy horse of Bowie Eye. And now we have the general of Bowie Eye, who's on his last leg. 20 men left in his unit. We've got another charge here. He is getting some great charges on these Peltas, which is going to really help out. Less skirmishers, the better. A huge charge right there from Bowie Eye. But, you know, I just don't think it's worth it. Again, I think Bowie Eye kind of made the mistake. One, they lost their general here. There's no need to lose your general this early on. But I think if he left his cav near Arverni, he would have gotten more out of the cav but it wasn't too bad. I mean, he did get some good charges on some archers. He weakened the, you know, reserves of Carthage. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. Honestly, this has been really tough for the attackers, mostly because of Arverni. Arverni is down to nothing. They've lost a huge section of their army because of that initial sally out, and Arverni is so far behind that actually the defenders have a slight edge in this siege battle. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really tough. I mean, they're gonna have to try to fight through some very narrow choke points. This is a good move by Kush. They're gonna move up their Kushite archers and kind of get some high ground here and fire down on the defenders. There we go. They're getting some counter fire right now. Oof. Oof. They better hurry up and run to those walls where it'll give them some cover. Trying to get up there, trying to defend or attack, defend. There we go. A huge archer battle. My God, they are getting blasted. Look at this. Look at this counter. I kind of like this. I mean, they've got their archers pretty well set up. Boei could spread out his archers a little bit more, but it's not too bad. But they've got pretty much all angles here to fire down on these archers. And that's keeping the defenders in this area. Most of the time when we see this, we'll see defenders fall back to over here and here, kind of getting out of range of the archers set up on these walls. But these defenders are like, nah, not today. We're going to hold right here, and we're just going to fire back. Now, the only negative thing about this is that it is using up a lot of ammo. And sometimes you want to save some of that ammo for, you know, pikemen or late game, but they're kind of just using a lot of that ammo. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's go back over here where Boei kind of charged forward with Egypt. Look at that. This is a pretty aggressive defense. I'm not gonna lie. I personally hate that phrase. I'm not gonna lie. Like what? Of course. I mean, I hope you wouldn't lie to me. Anyways, it's more like a saying. So yeah, they have pushed forward, and I think they're going for the kill right here. I think they're going for the kill. I guess this isn't really a push through. It's borderline. That was a borderline push through, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. There wasn't that many Arverni soldiers here. Kush has now sent up cav reinforcements, armored desert guard, and some Kushite royal guard trying to support the infantry of Arverni. But Arverni is a decaying piece of metal, all right, and it's rusting. And it's I don't even know what kind of analogy I'm going here with. They're losing, all right? You lose, good sir. More sword followers getting into the back lines. Arverni is on the verge of cracking. The Seleucids have now thrown in some units to help out. So there's one unit from the Seleucids. We have the Egyptians here helping out against the Arverni soldiers as well. So I think it's a matter of time until they break. And here's the problem, guys. This is a big problem. If Arverni breaks here, which it's possible, but these Oathsworn are very good. Look at this one, already has 142 kills. So they are very good, but you know, it's going to be a tough situation. And look at more and more units are they pushing on this side too? Oh my God. They're super aggressive. Crazy aggressive. So the tables have turned, and honestly, I don't blame them. Look at that balance of power. You know, they're feeling good. They had a great, I don't want to say the battle was decided in the first 5 minutes, but it certainly feels like that with that sally out from the defenders. Like, it was just a bold move. And honestly, it was bold, but it wasn't like too risky. You know, like that sally out to take out that small Arverni force at the beginning. I mean, what was there to worry about? Arverni didn't have any cav. The rest of their, like 75% of their army was far enough away to not be able to react. I mean, Arverni didn't even send over his army to help out that small force. It just kind of let them die. I mean, it would have taken a long time for them to get there, but still, I'm surprised they did that. So it was bold, but it also wasn't risky. You know what I mean? I don't know. So thorax swords moving up as we speak. There is a gap in the line. They do get caught there on some infantry, but they need to just keep going. And they're going to go for the Arverni archers. Oof, they drop some jabbies. They soften up these troops, and they go in for a devastating charge, which will pretty much break these archers almost instantly, as they are not equipped nor trained for this kind of close combat. And now the general is fighting to the bitter end. Bowie Eye is behind him, and Arverni is on the verge of defeat. So this is really good. This is going to give the defenders another pathway to take care of these attackers. But Carthage and Kush still have a solid amount of forces, and the balance of power is about the same. It's about the same since the past like 10 minutes. So there's still a chance that they can turn this around. The attackers really, what they need to be doing at this point is not this. That's brutal. What the attackers need to be doing is using this sense of confidence that the defenders have against them. Look weak, look scared, and maybe you can pull them into a trap or make them get really greedy and go for units that they think they can beat, but they can't. But this cycle charging is pretty devastating. They need some anti-cav. I feel like they just didn't bring enough anti-cav. And also, I don't see any pikemen. These are swordsmen. These are hoplites. No pikemen, which is really shocking. Even, like, the defenders have pikemen. Why didn't the attackers bring pikemen? We will never know. All right, Seleucid's moving up some Royal Peltis. I think they're gonna, well, okay, so they stopped pushing, so that's pretty smart. Defenders playing it smart here. They stopped pushing this way because honestly they don't have enough troops. They need to just, you know, use what they have and hold over here. Are they gonna go for these arrow towers? Yeah, I think they're gonna keep the arrow towers active. I like that play. I like when players actually defend arrow towers because they can rack up a lot of kills. As we speak, they've been shooting at these armored Shotel warriors and weakening them quite a lot. Back over here, Egypt and a little bit of the Seleucids are holding this front line and doing a pretty good job with all these infantry and whatnot. So a great struggle right there, and just kind of looking at the reserves, and it's kind of like, you know, just kind of checking on what they have left. We'll go into the tactical view. Just kidding. There we go. There's the tactical view. Didn't want to go up that way. All right, so we've got Royal Thorax Swordsmen. I think 3 of them. Yep, 3 and a general. So 4, with 1 being the general. That's a very troubling sign for the attackers. This is the force that's going to be the lifeline of the army for the defenders. The rest of these guys, I mean, Thorax Swordsmen, they're pretty good. But this is a nasty force, relatively speaking. It's going to be a problem for the attackers. And, you know, losing those archers is definitely catching up to the attackers. You know, they lost their skirmishers to that Cav sally out. It's becoming a problem for sure. Very cool, very cool. I just love zooming in and enjoying the fight. Now, Kush is sending over 2 units of armored Shotel warriors. I like that move. They definitely need to put some pressure on the other side of the flank, causing the defenders to have to spread out their forces. But notice, look at this. They're moving a ton of their skirmishers this way. Some bowmen here. That's a good play because they're going to try to kill the Shotel warriors from a distance. They're going to use their skirmishing force, which is fairly large, to really soften up the Shotel warriors from a distance. And hopefully that will make it a little easier killing these guys because they are very tough. Very, very tough. Bow AI just trying to hold them up here a little bit with their infantry. The balance of power now greatly in favor of the defenders. As every minute passes, it seems like the defense is going to win this one pretty decisively.
Put up the shield wall!
Very nice spike wall. Pike wall. And yeah, they've got the Shotel warriors right when they want them. I mean, pikes are so good at killing Shotel because, you know, you're keeping them at a distance. And there goes the pikes. And this is probably going to be the end of Kush. Yep, that's going to be the end of Kush. And all they have to worry about is Carthage. And I just, you know, I don't see Carthage breaking through here. Once Kush is cleaned out, either the defenders could come back and reinforce this side, or they can flank around the city and get behind these guys. Either way, it's going to be effective, and I just see the attackers having a hard time winning this one. And let's not forget, he still has the four Royal Thorax Swordsmen who have yet to even fight anyone. Here's the normal Thorax Swords holding the line. And let's see what they do here. Are they going to flank around? They're going to do a little bit of both. They're going to send back some units, and they're also going to push some units over to the other side of this fight. Yes. Yes. And they're going to probably take this arrow tower as well. That's also going to be kind of devastating for the attackers to lose that arrow tower, because now it's going to be shooting at them in the back, which is never good. They keep on fighting, man. I think a matter within the next few seconds, well, maybe many seconds, like 20, 30 seconds, I think we're going to see a mass break from the Carthaginians. Either that or the player just gives up. Because this is looking like disaster for the attackers. And, you know, I'm just going to say it. I think it was decided in the first 5 minutes over here. I think that's what decided the battle. Because ever since then, the attackers just never recovered. And there we go. Here's this flank. Oh, this is GG right here. We got some Royal Peltis getting in position. Ready to charge. There they go. I'm like, oh, there's the chain route. There's the chain route. There you have it, guys. A really solid defense by the defenders. I mean, really, really solid. They went on. This is what I'm talking about. Defenders, if you are playing a siege battle, do not be afraid to be aggressive. Don't let the attackers make all the moves. Like, you can make some moves too within reason. You know, don't be completely reckless, but at the same time, you know, also don't just sit there and mirror their moves. Like, be aggressive, do something to make them have to counter you. And this was a great display over here. This really was setting the pace of the battle right at the start. So that's pretty cool. Nice aggressive defense. This was sent in by the Bowie player, Markakis. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your name. But an excellent job there. He got the most kills in the battle, and really good job by his teammates. And a GG to the attackers. I think the biggest mistake Arverni made, which, by the way, Arverni still did really well. I mean, look at all the kills. They're all very close. Arverni, I think, would have been better off if his army was closer together. If you are going to split up your army like Arverni did, make sure you have some fast-moving units like Cav that can quickly support and hold back enemy forces until reinforcements show up. But a great battle. I really enjoyed this one. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this epic display. It was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time on the battlefield.